What is going on, guys? My name is Barnard, and welcome back to the Sixers Digest YouTube channel. Today, I'm here to break down one of these Sixers' new additions and how we're beginning to see a window in what his usage with the Sixers could possibly look like this year. That is Mo Bamba, and I'm here to discuss what that could possibly look like, why this is exciting for Sixers fans, and why he may be a bit of a surprise addition that flew under the radar this offseason. Now, before I dive fully into it, I would like to make sure that you guys are subscribing to the channel. As of now, 93% of you guys have not. We have some big plans coming up as the Sixers season inches closer. I want to get you guys along for the ride. It's been awesome so far. Still have a ton more awesome content brewing up, and I can't wait to get into it. Now let's dive fully into it today. The first thing that brought me here today is a tweet from Gina Mizell of the Philadelphia Inquirer. Does some really awesome work for them. But the Sixers are beginning their back-to-school events. They've had guys coming around, and she caught up with Mo Bamba at a recent one. And her tweet says, quote, "New Sixer Mo Bamba said he's already been working with player developmental staff on being, quote, interchangeable to play center and power forward and be switchable on defense. Added players have an unofficial minicamp in August in LA." So the biggest thing that I think of note is the thing of note there is that him talking about playing both the 4 and the 5. We know that Mo Bamba is here to bring a little bit of versatility when it comes to the big man. Backup center has been such a touchy subject when it comes to Sixers over the past couple of years, and the Sixers seem to be taking a bit of a different approach this year. Now, this isn't a foreign topic for Mo Bamba about potentially playing even with Joel Embiid. We've seen some talk. I dropped a video last week talking about Paul Reed, Nick Nurse coming out and saying Paul Reed specifically will be playing with Joel Embiid. So it seems like there's a similar mindset with Mo Bamba. And to feed into a quote back in media day, and this is from Kai Carlin of the Sixers Wire reporting this here, Mo Bamba himself said, quote, "I think leading up into free agency, we chatted a little bit," and this is referring to Joel Embiid here, "and during it, we chatted, and he was like, listen, this might sound a little crazy because we're playing against each other so much, but he was like, I think the Sixers would be a great fit for you." Bamba added, "I don't know exactly what it'll look like as far as just playing together. We're not playing together, but I think we can play together because Joe, believe it or not, I believe can be positionless." And he continued on and said, quote, talking about Embiid again here, quote, "He's such a scoring threat on the floor," Bamba finished. "He's such a dominant force out there. It might open up some things for other players in the way I've kind of progressed in my game to be a stretch 5/stretch 4. I think it's very much of a chance that we play together. He was just telling me things about just his experience with the league and things that have been going on, and he's honestly just an easy person to learn from and just be around." So a cool quote there. We can see this has been on Mo Bamba's mind as far as playing with Joel Embiid. I also do think it is of note that they do have a relationship there. We know that they're both two Drew Handling guys, both training with the Pure Sweat team there. They've trained together on a number of occasions. Embiid doesn't seem to have that extensive of a network when it comes to NBA players that he is friendly with. So I always like it when they are bringing in a guy like Bamba, who there is a relationship there. They do seem to like each other. And the money is where his mouth is when it comes to shooting the three-point shot. If I'm going to pull up these stats from Mo Bamba here, these are legitimate three-point attempts. I mean, look at the last two seasons specifically. Last year split between the Magic and the Lakers throughout the season. He shot 38.7% on 2.5 attempts. And the season before, shooting 38.1% on 4 attempts per game. Those are legitimate numbers on a legitimate sample size. And that means that he is kind of the real deal when it comes to shooting. And no, I'm not saying he's going to be a sniper, a three-point shooter, a guy running around like J.J. Redick shooting threes. But to have a respectable floor-spacing big man does open up some things when it comes to the offense as a whole. It gives you more flexibility for the type of guys you want to roll out. It allows more floor spacing, which has been the name of the game with Joel Embiid. And I know there's a little bit of a scarred conversation when it comes to the Twin Towers approach. We all remember the Al Horford era and how that did not work nearly what it was meant out to be. And the biggest thing that I'm pointing out as a difference there is Al Horford was never a shooter. Now, yes, he's turned himself into a pretty respectable three-point shooter at this point. I saw the quote of him calling himself elite and all that last year. But that was kind of a shift that he's gone throughout his career. That was never natural to him. These guys are more real-deal shooters and have worked on their game to become that more so than Horford was when he got to Philadelphia. Now, I'll even go as far as to say if you get the version of Al Horford that currently plays, who's become more and more of a perimeter threat, maybe it fits a little better nowadays, but it wasn't that case when he was here. And as some further evidence, I do want to pull up this clip of Mo Bamba working out at the Rico Hines run. He has been putting his money where his mouth when it comes to working on his craft, making sure that three-point ready, and he also is showing a little bit of chemistry with Terquavion Smith, which I love to see. And I know that Sixers fans have quite a bit of stars when it comes to buying into offseason hype videos as well. We've been through the Ben Simmons cycle there. And I'm not saying that I'm taking such a hard approach just based on this video, but he does look like a legitimate shooter. This isn't a big man that can shoot. He looks confident with it, that this is a shot that is in his repertoire. It's something he puts reps in. It's something that he practices. And just that a little bit of pick and pop option is a creative layer that needs to be added to the Sixers offense. And especially when you think when now Bamba can be a legitimate floor spacing big man, if you want to play that next to Joel, that increases the Sixers' chance of rebounding, which has been a struggle for them. And as great as Joel Embiid is at so many things on a basketball floor, rebounding really is not one of them. That yes, he's always going to average over 10 rebounds a game because he is 7'2", one of the most massive human beings in the entire world. But rebounding isn't necessarily a skill of his that I would consider that highly. That he's a guy who happens to end up with a lot of rebounds because of the position he's in, because of his size. But it's not something that when you watch him read a ball off the rim that you think he's got it. He's not a Dennis Rodman level rebounder who simply has that ability and that instinct to know where the ball is. He's nowhere near that. He's not a particularly great rebounder, and that's not going to change. So you're either going to wish for that to continue, but the Sixers have been a pretty poor rebounding team largely because of that. So if you add some more size next to him, a guy like Mo Bamba or a guy like Paul Reed, along with Embiid, and allow them to do some of the dirty work while he can continue to be the offensive engine the Sixers are asking him to be or create on both ends, that has some intriguing potential there. And these Sixers, by the way, are more familiar with Bamba's ability than anyone. That just last season, it was Mo Bamba that finished with 32 points and shot 7 of 8 from deep against the Sixers in a throwdown between the Magic and the Sixers. It should be noted that Joel Embiid did finish with 50 points in that matchup, so he did get the last laugh there. But that was an impressive performance nonetheless, and something that sticks in my brain when it comes to Mo Bamba for sure. He is a bit of an interesting player, Mo Bamba, when it comes to truly evaluating him. And even when I kind of post these videos like that one from the Rico Hines run, which I think is very cool, that he's involved in, that I see the Magic fans in the comments kind of hating on him. Lakers fans not really too happy with what he brought to the team either. So he's a little bit of a mix between like the eye test and the statistical, that he just looks like a better player than he's ever fully turned out to be. We know there was a ton more hype when he came into the NBA, when there was the song dropped about him, Shaq West giving him some love in the rap game there. And it hasn't fully played out, I think, the way that Mo Bamba or really anyone expected. He looked like he had a ton more potential at Texas, but there's still plenty of time for him to turn his career around. And if he can kind of grab his footing as a legitimate backup to Joel Embiid and then kind of climb more onto the plate by getting some opportunity alongside the MVP, there is a world where this is a significant turning point in Mo Bamba's career. Now, I'm not ready to fully die on that hill or climb and believe that could happen. I could very easily be just as frustrated as all these fans already in my comments talking about that. So that very well is on the table, but I do think that there's a change in mindset from Mo Bamba, that he doesn't seem set and just driven wanting to be this superstar, that he has a little bit more of a mindset of being content with fitting into a team construct, which is a big deal and something that a lot of players struggle with. So overall, I am excited about the addition of Mo Bamba. I think there is some intriguing potential there. And the biggest thing that is my takeaway here, the biggest thing that keeps me excited, is just this newfound flexibility, this willingness to try new things, to adapt to different rotations and lineups and just players on the court. It feels like we're going to get a way more innovative look at what these Sixers could be this season on a way that just has not happened in past years, certainly under the Doc Rivers tenure and even before that. That I'm ready to see some new things. Let's try out some new styles, and who knows, maybe it could produce some results. Maybe that is what is missing to break that second round curse. So I get it. There's still a ton of hanging over the Sixers organization, but there's a lot of under-the-radar moves and just expectations that are happening this offseason, most of them spearheaded by the addition of Nick Nurse, who I am so excited about. So hopefully Mo Bamba is a key piece that he plans on playing with. We will see how it plays out from here, but it looks like we're going to see him alongside Joel Embiid as well. So I can't wait to see it. I appreciate you guys for watching this video. Make sure to drop a like, drop a comment. Let me know your thoughts on Mo Bamba. Drop a subscribe to the channel, and I'll be back talking with you next time here on Sixers Digest. Peace.